Hello, my name is Mayan Shaw with RVMax.us, and today I have this 2006 Damon Tuscany model 4074. It's a quad slide coach that rides on a Freightliner air ride chassis. It's got a beautiful paint job, and we just put new floors in it as well, so it's a great coach and it's ready to go. So let's take you around and show you all the cool things about it and some of the flaws as well. It has a 7,500 watt own and quiet diesel generator in the front. You can hear it running right now. We've got two air conditionings running in the coach, so it's got a load and it's still very quiet. Now up here you can see it's got some foggy windows. This is pretty common on older coaches like this. You can see there's some oxidation in there. What happens is the seals, they just form a little break in them and some moisture can get up in there. Now this mirror has some, it looks like the little coating on it is peeling off. I've seen this before, it happens. You know, when you're driving in the rain and stuff like that, it happens. Now this has AccuRide aluminum wheels all around. It's got Firestone tires, they're in good shape. Check out the paint. The paint's beautiful, super glossy. Great colors as well. Earth tone colors, but it's got a little bit of red in there to bring it alive. Now here you've got a nice window awning here with an aluminum shroud to protect it. Now all the windows beyond the passenger and driver windows are tinted, which I prefer because it not only blocks sunlight and reduces the amount your air conditioner will have to run, it provides some privacy as well. Now underneath here, you've got a bunch of storage compartments. I may not open all of the storage compartments, but I want to give you an idea of the main storage compartments. Right here, you've got a big pass-through storage. It's got a lot of accessories under here that go with the coach. Right here, you have another pass-through storage. Now it has a slide-out tray along with it. And you've got a bunch of goodies with hoses, some holders for the black tank hose. So it's nice stuff that goes along with it. But this slide out tray comes out on the passenger and driver side, which I found is really nice with bikes because they're very awkward to get in there. So if you have a slide out tray, it makes it way easier. Right here you have your wet bay. You've got an outside shower here too, which is pretty nice. Especially if you're at the beach, you can come and rinse your feet off before you go into the coach. You got your city hookup, basic black and gray flush, where you can empty the tank. Now here we've got some scratches. Right here you can see there's a little scuff. It looks like it's been touched up, so it's not visible from very far away. Here you have some more scuffs. These look like they can be mostly polished out. You've got another little scrape here. And some more little paint chips on the, this is the back of the refrigerator right here. This stuff happens when you're going in and out of state parks. You may brush a tree or something. This is pretty normal stuff and purely cosmetic. No metal exposed over there because this is all fiberglass. Back here, there's a little chip there in the paint. I may not see 100% of the scratches and stuff, but I'm going to point out everything I see. My camera person is also on the hunt for any flaws that we see, so we're going to point them out if we see them. Right here, you just have some minor scratches. These may mostly polish out. These deeper ones may not. Kind of small. Down here, you have a little dent on the slide out. It's not visible when it's closed, but if you open it up, you can see it. Now in here, you have your 50 amp power cord. It also comes with a 50 to 30 dog bone, and it looks like there's a 15 to 30. So if you want to plug it up at your house, if you don't have 50 or 30 amp power connections, you can maybe let the batteries charge with the 15 amp, assuming the coach recognizes that small amount of power. Because sometimes it's got the little computer system that controls the power input, so it may not recognize 15 amp. But if it has that connector, I'm assuming the previous owner let it charge on 15 amps, so it probably does recognize that power. Check out the paint, super glossy, straight walls. I love the red because there's a lot of coaches out there that have earth tone colors and they look great, but the red really brings the paint alive. It's not just earth tone colors alone. That's something that brings it alive. Step around back here. Now this has a 350 Cat. It's a C7, plenty of power. My dad's driven it. I haven't driven it, but we're going to get on the road later and show you how it drives. He told me it drives great and has plenty of power. Now you see your hitch down here. It's got a 10,000 pound towing capacity, so plenty of towing capacity to tow anything you'd like. Unless you're towing something ridiculous, of course, then you could switch out the hitch. But I wouldn't recommend towing anything ridiculous, but 10,000 should be plenty for anything you tow. Right here, you have some these little metal grates. Now, these have cracked right here and they've been duct taped. There's no need really for them to be duct taped because they're bolted in over here, but I suppose they probably duct taped it to provide a little more stability, just in case. Right here, it's been cracked and it's fallen off. I kind of forgot about it because my camera person pointed out, so it's not too noticeable. Again, this is a 2006. It is not a 2019. It's not a perfect coach, but it is a quad slide coach and it is ready to go. So if you don't mind some cosmetic things that you're going to see on most used coaches, this could be your coach. Now right here you see some scratches. Just some minor stuff right there, right above the hitch. All right, I've got a little surprise for you. Surprise, we're on the roof now. Now this has a rubber roof, and the seals look great. It looks super clean. We've got 2 solar panels right here. This is your rear air conditioning, which is above your bedroom, and that is your front main air conditioning, which is above the living room area. Now this does have max air covers over your vent fans, which is nice because you can leave your vent fan open when it's raining or when you're going down the road. That is a vent for your refrigerator. Now this does a refrigerator that runs on both propane and electric power. Right here is a front vent fan for the kitchen. It does not have a max air vent, but that's okay. You're more likely to be using your bathroom going down the road than your kitchen, so that's probably good. Right here is your, it looks like it's a satellite dish. Now, I'm not sure why it has 2 satellite dishes. So it's got a satellite dish there, which is a pretty regular basic one. And up here has a track vision satellite dish, which I believe it should be in motion. I could be wrong. It may not be in motion, but it's automatic. It'll automatically find satellite signal. Right there are your air horns, which is great. You make your presence known on the road. You can see the front cap has some clear coat coming off. That's pretty common. The front cap gets the most wind and the most sun. So, you know, the paint's still there. Could be a couple $100 fix if it really bothers you, but it's purely cosmetic. Right here you see your door awning. Fabric's in great shape. That's a manual door awning. Over here you have your fully electric patio awning. Fabric looks great. Color really goes well with the coach. Right here you have a basic antenna that goes along with the 2 satellite dishes that this coach does have. The roof looks great. Super white. It's in great condition. All the seals look pretty good. Obviously you need to get up here maybe once a year and check your seals. If you find any cracks, you can quickly seal them. Not too big of a deal to maintain roofs. You just have to check it once a year. That's a big thing. Right here you see your, all the slide out toppers are in good shape. This one is not torn, but it's a little off track. So you could probably, as it rolls in, kind of slide it over. That's not really a big deal, but it's something I want to point out. Rear main seal looks good. Clear coat's coming off a little bit on the cap here too. Not as bad as the front, but it is coming off a little bit. Thankfully, that's not happening anywhere on the flat pieces of the coach down below, so the only time it'll be visible is if you're 12 feet tall or you're on the top of the roof. All right, we're back down on the ground. Now, back here you can see your backup camera. I forgot to touch on that before we went up on the roof. It's got a cool little design there. It's got the red and all the colors of the coach included. It's nice to see. On the back of the coach. I always like those little differentiating designs on the back of coaches. Now here again, straight wall, super glossy. You can see your large electric patio awning right there. Provides plenty of shade. And if you forgot, 350 horsepower. In here we've just got some basic storage. Look like there's some windshield washing fluid and some connections for the black and gray hose. Just some basic stuff. Oh, and here we have some scratches on the bottom of it. Again, not really visible when it's closed, but it is if you open it up. Some more little scratches and scuffs. Again, not visible if it's closed. Now under here you have your coach and chassis batteries. The coach batteries are on the bottom, chassis batteries are on top. They're both, well, the coach batteries are not, but the chassis batteries, I flipped it. Chassis batteries are not on slides, but the coach batteries are on slides. Thankfully, the chassis batteries have plenty of room, so they can be easily replaced. And the coach batteries are kind of stuff in there, so it's good they're on trays, so you can slide them out. And just being honest, these chassis batteries look a little old. The coach batteries look pretty new. We've never had any problems with the chassis batteries, so there's no need to replace them, and they look fine and not bulging or anything like that. So the batteries are good. The coach batteries look newer though. Here you have your passenger side dually. Now the paint looks great. I mean, obviously there's minor little flaws here and there, mostly on the bottom of the coach, which is normal to see, but for the most part, the paint is in good shape. I've got some like rubber here. That can probably come off. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's some scrapes here. I'm really nitpicking this coach because I want to be completely honest about what we've got, and I don't want any surprises when you come and see the coach. Oh, and there's nothing in here. This is, oh, it looks like your water tank is back there, and your gray and black tank are also probably hidden behind there. I like the compartment doors. They shut very well, and they don't feel like they're barely latching like some coaches do. Now here's your hot water heater. It has a 10-gallon hot water heater. Now you have another window awning on this side of the coach. It also has an aluminum shroud. All of the awnings on this coach have aluminum shrouds, which is great because it protects them from the sun. A lot of times I see older coaches with awnings, and they're starting to rip on areas where they're exposed to the sun, and that's because they're stored and they're exposed. But none of the awnings on this coach are exposed to the sun when they're closed. This is that pass-through storage from the other side that we already looked at. And right here is the pass-through storage with the tray. Plenty of under storage on this coach. Now these compartments don't really have any scrapes on them. This one maybe has some very minor nicks, but look pretty good for the most part. Right here you have a little entertainment center. And yes, that is a little older TV, but the good thing is you already have a radio, you have outlets, you have cable TV connections, you have a speaker system, so you can quickly take that TV out, spend maybe 50 bucks, and put a little TV in there. If you really wanted to, you could put like a 32-inch TV and have it on a little swivel for maybe 150, 200 bucks. You could do that. So the good thing is it's already set up for that. I'm sure that TV works, but you know, it's a little dated. Up here you have your window awning, and you can easily see how large that patio awning is. And we have a nice door awning too. This is useful, especially if it's raining. You're trying to get in your coach and unlock it. It's good to have. Now this coach does have a remote for the awning. It may need a battery, so let's see. I may have to pair it. It may need to be paired, or I'm not sure. I'll look into that, but I mean, it's not a big deal. There's a button inside the coach to do it. If you get this paired up, that's great. Let's take a look at the front of the coach real quick before we hop inside of it. I like the styling on the front. It looks kind of aggressive, and it's different from most coaches, and it hasn't really dated. A lot of coaches from this era have dated fronts and backs, but this one kind of, it's not really, it's almost a timeless design. Now, it has 2-pane windshields. Now, yes, it's not a single pane like some newer coaches have. So, and the single pane's nice, don't get me wrong. There are definitely pros to having that. But the good thing is, if you ever crack one of these, it's way cheaper to replace one or even both of these than it is to replace a 1-pane, a single pane glass. They're very expensive. So there are pros and cons to both. All right, let's step inside this coach now. All right, before we step inside the coach, we took out all the carpet and put this new engineered hardwood flooring throughout the coach. And we also took the carpet that was in the stepwell out and put the engineered hardwood floors there as well, which is expensive, but it's the right way to do it, and it looks way better and it's way easier to clean. You're in and out of the coach, you're gonna track stuff in. It's nice to have engineered wood there. All right, let's step inside. You've got tile here. You can see your 2 captain's chairs right here. We're gonna talk more about the cockpit later. This coach does have, let's see, yep, it's got automatic electronic leveling right there for the jacks. Check out the floors. They look great. They look really good. It used to be carpet in here, but now it's all tile and hardwood flooring, or engineered hardwood flooring. Now over here, you have a nice little couch. I don't believe this turns, oh, it does. Okay, this is just a regular jackknife that turns into a little bed. Over here, we have a full pull-out bed. Now here's the box for the new TV. We're going to talk about that in a second, but over here you have a full pull-out bed. That's pretty nice. Condition of the upholstery is great. It could maybe, it's not perfect, but it is not showing really bad signs of wear, and it's pretty comfortable too. I've sat down in there. Now right here you have a dinette. This is nice. It turns into a bed as well. You don't see that too often in big diesel coaches like this. It's got plenty of storage compartments all throughout up here. Now right here, it looks like there's some damage to the it's like these panels are all, it's like wood maybe, or pressed wood with like a wallpaper almost type on it. And it looks like it has some water get on it. It may have come in when the slides are left half open, water can get in because it's not fully sealed. Sometimes water, if you're on a hill and the slide's open and you pull it in, some water can get in. I'm assuming that's where it came from because there's no signs of leaks up here. The roof is solid. There's no soft spots at all. The ceiling is in great shape, so this is just a little bit of damage to the coach, but not a big deal. Over here you have your kitchen area. This is all Corian. I really like this gray, kind of speckled Corian countertops. You have a dual ceramic sink right here. Plenty of counter space. Over here you have a 3-burner gas stove, again with Corian inserts to cover it. So if you want some more cutting space, or you can just cover it right back up. Lots of counter space over here. This is very nice. If you're preparing things and you want to throw it in the pot or pan, it's nice to have all this space over here. Now check out this new TV. It used to have an old TV that was just outdated, like the one in the back. But we put in a 32-inch LED TV. It's also on a swivel, so you can take it out and move it around. And the reason we did this is because it's a large enough TV to where it blocks this compartment, so you can kind of move it around. It's also nice if you're sitting mainly over there, you can kind of angle it differently. It's nice to have that. Up here you have some main controls. For your front slides, you have a slide lock. This is your controller for your inverter. You can check your levels. You have an LP valve to turn it on and off. It also has an electric element in the hot water heater, so if you want to use AC power instead of gas, you totally can. That. All right, let's step back into the middle of the coach. So right here you have your controller for your air conditioning. It's cool, Damon does this. There's 2 separate remote controls for the air conditioning, so it's not just one spot where your controller is. It's kind of cool. Right here is the controller for your fantastic electric vent fan, so you can turn it up and down, you can open it up, stuff like that. Right here you have a 4-door refrigerator. Again, this runs off propane or electric. This is the biggest RV refrigerator that you can get that runs off both propane and electric. It has an ice maker as well. Step back in the bathroom. You have a little separator door here. That's nice. You can separate the, it's pretty common too. It separates the back of the coach from the front area. Right here you have a glass enclosed shower. Pretty large. You have a nice skylight as well. Nice shower. Very wide too. Over here the Corian continues into the bathroom as well, which is really nice. Provides some quality feeling, and it looks like higher quality material as well. Nice vanity. You have a medicine cabinet here. Alright, let's check out the bathroom area, or the toilet area, which is separated from the shower area. Pretty spacious. We have tile back here. Right. Got some storage compartments up there. Now, back here in the bedroom area, there's like 2 doors that separate the bedroom from the bathroom. So if you want somebody to use your bathroom and you want to go to sleep, that can happen without any problem. Now back here, this used to be carpet. We took it out and put the engineered hardwood floors down. There's still carpet up on the slide out and back here where the engine cover is, but predominantly it is engineered hardwood. Now there's a little scratch on the hardwood here from the slide out going in and out. That's pretty common. Unfortunately, they're new floors and the floors are a little thicker than the carpet, so that's the small price you have to pay to have engineered hardwood instead of carpet. Now we have a TV right here. Old school TV. Again, you can do what we did in the front and put a brand new TV in here for a couple $100 with a swivel. Storage compartment up here as well as over there. Plenty of drawer space here as well as countertop space. Back here you have a washer dryer combo. Nice feature if you're going on long distance trips. Now right here we need to put the screw back in, so we'll take care of that before the coach goes off. In fact, I'll do that right after the video ends. This happens, it just needs to be, like, if you want to take a look at it close up, that screw just needs to be drilled back into there. Maybe put a little wider screw to make sure it doesn't happen again. But that's a small little flaw. It's not a perfect coach, but that will be taken care of. Back here you have a wardrobe. Pretty spacious wardrobe. I think this is like a little carpet for the front if you want to put that down. Maybe in the kitchen area or something. That clicks into place. You can also access it from this side as well. There's a light in here too. It works. I forgot to turn it on. Whoops. Now this is a king size bed. Let me repeat that. King size bed. I sound like my dad, but that's what happens. But you don't see this often in coaches, especially an older coach like this. It's a massive bed, and if you're in the coach, it looks pretty big because it's taking up most of the space. You know, it's really nice to see. You've got a nice back headrest right there, or what's it called? Headboard. It looks pretty cool. There's a cool design in the wood. You have a radio here with, wow, it doesn't have a cassette player. It has a CD player. That's pretty cool. Now here you have your control for your rear air conditioning as well. So you can turn your furnace on, air conditioning, stuff like that from this little thing. Again, it's nice because you can keep it right here. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're cold or hot, you can quickly change it without having to get up and go to your thermostat. There's the small things that make life nice in coaches, and that's one of them. Anyways, I think we've gone through most of it. Oh, before we end the video, I want to show a little flaw here. All right, so up here, the wallpaper is a little ripply. You can see it. So probably some water got in at some point. Again, the ceilings look great. So it's probably water, maybe even from the slide out, or maybe, you know, that happens. But walls are solid. You can hear the walls are solid. So no real damage has happened. It's just the wallpaper is a little ripply. I'm looking around. It's up here too. Just a little bit. Again, solid walls. No soft spots at all. Just the wallpaper is a little ripply. And you wouldn't notice that unless you spent a lot of time in here. So small little flaw. But again, this is a 2006 coach. It's not a 2019. It is a quad slide coach on a Freightliner chassis with a great engine, and it's got brand new floors. The interior layout is fantastic with that pull-out bed, with the dinette turning into a bed, and with a jackknife. All the amenities and creature comforts are fantastic. Plenty of counter space in the kitchen, king-size bed. So this thing has a lot going for it. And the flaws, yes, there are flaws, and I want to be honest about that. So if you don't like the flaws and they're too much for you, then you know you can continue looking and maybe pay a little more and find something else. But all in all, they're mostly, actually all of them are cosmetic flaws. So besides that, this is a fantastic coach and a great layout. Please join me. We're going to jump on the road. I'm going to show you how it drives. My dad said it drives great, so I'm going to double check and make sure he's correct. All right, so over to my left here, we have an LCI electronic leveling system that you can operate it manually, and it also has a one-touch automatic system, so you can just press it and it'll level the coach up. Don't have to worry about it after that. Over here, you have your exhaust brake, you have your mirror controls, windshield wiper stuff. You've got electric sunshades in the front. You also have these sunshades on the side, and the passenger has side sunshades too, which is really nice. You have your 6-speed Allison transmission button selector right here. You can also manually select it. This is helpful if you're going up a mountain. You just leave it in one gear. It's good for your transmission. Right here you have your parking brake. Of course, these transmissions don't have a parking brake gear. You just put them in neutral, and it has an air brake for the emergency brake. That's like very standard for most diesels, buses at least. Over here you have your headlight switch, fog lights, dock lights. Dock lights are very nice for parking a coach into a spot at night because it lights up your sides. You can see it in your mirrors. You have an aisle light for the interior. Auxiliary start, this combines your chassis and coach batteries. If your chassis battery is a little weak, you can still try to fire the coach up with the assistance of the coach batteries. Now this coach has 46,581 miles on it. Volts look good. You have your basic tach and speedometer. You also have your engine temperature. We just went out and drove it on the highway, and the temp is not even up to normal, so the cooling system is working awesome. Working very well. Oil pressure, front air PSI, that's your airbag's pressure. Rear air PSI looks good. This is your generator prime slash start button. The generator has 885 hours on it. You have your backup camera right here. Pioneer radio, and the AC blows cold. Can you believe that? If you've owned a coach or you've read a bunch of forums and done your research, you know that this coach is in like the 20% or the 10%, so the 90th percentile of coaches, because most coaches dash air just does not work. Over here, this is aftermarket. It looks professionally done and wired. It's just extra little plug-ins for chargers and things like that. Plug it back in. So you've got 3 here and you've got 2 over there, so you've no lacking of charging ports or anything like that. You have your switch. You have a regular horn, and then you can have your make your neighbors very angry at 3 in the morning horn, which is basically a bus horn. It's really nice. Makes your presence known. You also have some dash fans. So I remember when I was smaller, I was very confused. I had no idea. I was like, you have dash air, why would you have those fans? But now I understand it's to help with defrosting. You have defrost vents, but this is to help defrost because there's such large windows. Anyways, that'll conclude it. All right, so this is just a demonstration of the turning radius. So I'm going to cut this turn right here. Mind you, this is a 40-foot coach, and I'm squeezing it in here. Look at this. Turning radius is a significant help. Now this is an above par turning radius. It's not the biggest turning radius out there. I've driven coaches with more, but this is above average turning radius. Because trust me, if you get a below average turning radius, it will frustrate you. So, thanks. All right, we're getting on the highway now with this 2006 Damon Tuscany, and we're going up a slight hill. So I'm just going to see how quickly we can accelerate. We're at 35 miles an hour, 40. Now mind you, this is up a hill. 45, 50, 55. It's not like the acceleration is not decreasing. 60, and there's 65. Look at that. Very quickly, and that was all up a hill. We're still going up a hill. Oh, we're almost at 70. I didn't realize it. Just set cruise control at 68 or 67 miles an hour. Super smooth. This rides on a Freightliner XCR chassis, which is a great chassis. Very smooth. And again, it has that C7 Caterpillar engine, 350 horsepower. Feels like 400. That's typical Cat. They make a lot of torque. Generally, they make a little more torque than Cummins. So let's see, I'm going to decrease my speed with cruise control here because I'm coming up on traffic. Super smooth, not very many inputs. If that's a big thing about a lot of RVs and buses. You have to like constantly be adjusting, especially when you're new. And this one is dead straight. There's no need for that constant little input. Like look, I'm going around a corner and I can just set it. And I'm fine. It's easy to do that. You know, and a lot of times it is the driver in the beginning when you're learning. But later on, especially me, I'm not trying to sound all like high up, but I've been driving coaches for a long time. And I can tell when a chassis rides nice because look at this. I can set it, and there's obviously there's going to be more inputs than driving a car. But this one's a lot closer to driving a car because look, dead straight. Dead straight. Coach drives great. Very nice chassis. Plenty of power. Cruise control works great. Yeah, the exhaust brake is nice. It's a single stage exhaust brake. Now one thing I will comment, I was talking about this foggy window earlier. It honestly is a little annoying having to look through your mirror through a slightly foggy window. It doesn't affect your judgment or vision, really. It's just mildly annoying. And that's just being completely honest about it. You can get it fixed, and honestly, I would want to get it fixed purely because it annoys me, but it's not like you can't drive it. You can see out just fine, and you can see if there's anyone in your blind spot just fine. But the coach drives great. It's only got 46,000 miles, which is nothing for a C7 Cat. It's got loads of power, loads of torque, and the big thing is the steering is super smooth, and you don't have to constantly put in those inputs. That's the feedback I'm getting from driving this coach. Brakes feel great. I didn't even use the engine brakes decelerating off the highway. But the engine brake is strong. Very strong engine brake. And that's key. If you're going to be towing something, that's key to have that engine brake. Obviously, trailer brakes are nice, but they're still a little bit where the trailer brake is not going to match you perfectly, and you still have more weight. So it's nice to have that engine brake. And that's a big plus of driving a diesel instead of a gas coach. And on top of driving a diesel over the gas is that airbag suspension. You're not flopping around all over the road. But this coach drives great. And I think our camera bag just fell over. Uh-oh. We'll have to check in that later, but hopefully our camera stuff is not damaged. Yep, there's the exhaust brake. I'm not touching and we're at 33 miles an hour. Look at this, down to 25. I'm going to hit the brakes now because I'm not going to be ridiculous. But it will decelerate the heck out of you. I mean, this thing has the power and the stability of a car, so you can fly it around cities if you want, but I wouldn't suggest that. Cruise control works great, nice air horn. I'm going to demonstrate when we get back to the storage the turning radius, because the turning radius is excellent. Oh, I just heard a little psh. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about driving a bus is hearing besides all the nice things of it driving smooth and having plenty of power, and it's quieter than a gas coach because you're not riding on top of your engine. But you hear the little psh of the air system letting off some pressure. Anyways, this coach drives excellently, and this is a lot of coach for your money. What we're asking for this price, and by the way, this is the only quad slide Tuscany that they make, or at least for this year, this is the only quad slide that they made. Everything else is triple and double slides. So anyways, that'll conclude the test drive video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions or would like to schedule an appointment to see this coach in person, please call or text 864-376-5600, and I'm willing to Skype or FaceTime if you're long distance. We can get a little more personal, but hopefully the video did that for you. So anyways, thank you for watching and have a great day.